Okay, I'm gonna pour myself a little drinky here. Time to pour myself a little drinky. Woo, woo, drinky time, drinky time. I'm just kidding, I just do that for the memes. This is a water bottle. Okay, so a little piece of insider information came out from Jason Schreier. You know Jason Schreier, right? The guy that held on to really damning information about abuse going on at Blizzard so that way he could sell more copies of his book. That Jason Schreier. Also, a throwback, it's the same Jason Schreier who blocked me because I asked the question. A few years ago, I made a video about this. A few years ago, Jason Schreier was asked if there was like some kind of like clique with game journalists, like you got to know someone to know someone and to be a games journalist at one of these big outlets, and that's why there's like no differences of opinions or politics or anything amongst game journalists. He was asked about it, and he called it conspiracy theory nonsense to say that there's like a game journalist clique. So then I asked him to name a conservative game journalist, and he blocked me. So yeah, that Jason Schreier. But anyways, a report came out from Jason Schneider claiming that Sony could be pulling away from PC ports for their single-player games, suggesting that Wolverine may never release on the platform, which I think is funny because PC is currently the only platform where Wolverine is even playable. Bazinga. But I also find this news to not even be unbelievable, frankly. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Sony pulls away from PC ports, because they've been absolutely fucking incompetent with it up to this point. Sony's push into the PC market has been so hilarious to me as a PC gamer, because not only do you do delayed ports of these games, so you're already kneecapping your sales because you're trying to sell the game at full price oftentimes to people who already know how it plays, or people who already have an alternative to that game because you waited so long to release it. But on top of that, there have been several big PC ports that Sony has released with no marketing. I mean, remember Returnal? The game that they released on PC and then didn't even drop the announcement trailer until the day after the PC port came out? Remember the whole PSN fiasco? Remember the fact that they released Uncharted 4, but not 1 through 3? And that's not even to say that Sony has been completely unsuccessful on PC, because they've been very successful on the PC. Some of these PC ports, and keep in mind that these PC ports are extremely low cost. It does not cost a lot of money to make a second version of a game that's already been made. So even the lower selling PC ports are generally seen as financial successes. They were profitable. Like, the lower selling ones were surely profitable, and the higher selling ones like this, and like this, and like this, and like this, these games were extremely profitable. So it's not even like Sony is failing by being incompetent, they're just not hitting the peak of their capabilities. And that's why it's funny to me as a PC gamer, because I could tell you how to be extremely successful in a heartbeat. I'm recording this video on the morning of February 27th. There are currently over 300,000 people playing the new Resident Evil on Steam alone at 8 in the morning on a work day. Look me in the eyeballs and tell me Sony could not be more successful on the platform if they just went day and date, for God's sake. But anyways, going back to this report, I honestly have I have no problem believing this report that Sony is pulling back on PC ports, because from Sony's perspective, they're probably confused as to why they're not having as much success on the PC as they are on the PlayStation, man. Why isn't it happening? We better pull back. Never mind the fact that the success is not happening because you are grossly incompetent with your strategy. If you stopped being incompetent with your strategy, this wouldn't be happening. And I'm iffy on the legitimacy of the report. Keep in mind, me saying that I have no problem believing the report is different from me saying I think it's true, because we're also only a few months removed from stuff like this, from Sony openly hiring for new positions regarding the PC ports. So like, this insider report rumor seems to clash with what actually has definitely happened recently. So I'm just on the fence about how legitimate this information really is. Jason Schreier, as much of a douche canoe as he is, he does tend to be accurate with his reporting, but also at the same time, this report does seem to be more contradictory to reality than normal, so I'm just hesitant to believe it at face value. But again, this news could be made official today, and I would have no trouble believing the mindset that got them there, because Sony has been incompetent in this department to begin with. But I mean, naturally, the PlayStation guys are running victory laps about this news because they never wanted games on the PC in the first place, because it's not about the games to these people. Sony can take advantage of you, Sony can overcharge you, Sony can give you subpar products, Sony can charge you out the butt for things they shouldn't have to charge you for in the first place, but all of it is justified because the games are just so good, man. They gotta do all that stuff because the first party games are so good. Okay, so let other people play the first party games. No! No! You have to buy a PlayStation for it. But the PlayStation is overpriced. Yeah, it's gotta be overpriced so they can fund the first party games that are so great. Okay, can I play the first party games that are so great without interacting with the overpriced thing? No, you can't! You need it! But anyways, I just want to have a nice little hoot while we wait for this news to come out. I like, forgive me for being underwhelmed by the news, because I'm not even going to call it news yet until it's confirmed, because it just seems so strange. We'll talk about the news when it becomes news and it's not rumor anymore, but for today, we're going to look at the people who looked at the rumor and just started rejoicing and jumping for joy and shitting their whole pants because this is the greatest thing ever that gamers get less access to games now. Gosh, oh gee, how I have fun holding games hostage one by one. Let's take a look at this. Kieran says, PlayStation moving away from PC in terms of single player games is great. Those PC orcs only pirate everything anyway. I do love when console guys complain about how PC players only pirate things, because they can never make up their mind on whether or not we actually pirate everything. If a Sony game does well on the PC, they're like, haha, look how good the Sony game was. PC guys are desperate to buy the games. But then if a Sony game doesn't do well, they're like, well, it's just because they pirate all the games. Again, I point you towards Resident Evil 9. This game is doing fucking gangbusters on Steam right now, which is a service where you buy the game. This is the same platform that literally outbought the PlayStation for games like Helldivers. I just love that all PC gamers are pirates, but only when it's convenient. PC gamers buy the shit out of certain PlayStation games. You're like, yeah, well, of course they bought it. It's because the games are so good and they just want the games. They bought the games. PlayStation game doesn't do well on PC. It's like, well, it's because they don't buy games. They don't buy them. Rome says, man, PC dude's really mad they ain't getting Wolverine. Which, again, irony alert, I can play Wolverine right now, you know, in development build. It's better than you can do. A PC version of Wolverine exists. Whether or not it actually comes out is a different conversation, but the PC sphere was at least strong enough for a PC version of Wolverine to be in development. We know for sure a PC version of Wolverine exists right now. Whether or not it comes out is a different conversation, but you have to ask yourself, if it doesn't come out, even though they've been spending money on developing it, is that a referendum on PC gamers who proved such a demand that this game began to get worked on? Or is that a referendum on Sony, who spent money on something that will not make any money if it doesn't come out? Because, I mean, if there's one thing Sony is really good at this generation, it's giving money to studios for projects that don't fucking come out. Which is why reducing the number of platforms where their games can be bought is a little hard to believe. Right? Crap Gamer says the PS5 Pro version looks so much more lively and stunning than the PC version. I can't wait for the PC version of this game to actually come out. I just want to bookmark all of these just in case the PC version does come out. Because, like, honestly, I can live with it if it doesn't come out. I have plenty of shit to play in the meantime. I'm really not going to lose sleep over Wolverine not coming to PC. Most PC gamers aren't. We just have so many more games to play in the meantime. Like, that's the whole reason that they started porting to PC in the first place, is that PC gamers just are not enticed by first-party PlayStation games enough to go buy a fucking console in addition to the PC we already have. That's the whole reason they started porting to PC in the first place. The console itself is not enough to convince us to buy one. So changing the strategy now, after you have further conditioned PC gamers to not buy a PlayStation, is just a bizarre strategy. Cotton. Let's see how it works out for them. But anyways, just be sure to bookmark this, screenshot it, because I just want to see the eggs on your guys' face. I just want to see all the eggs on your guys' faces. And even if it doesn't come out, fine. Like, PC gamers are not losing sleep over this, because PC gamers already have access to X-Men Origins Wolverine. Remember this game? You can play this game for free on PC. Fucking my abandonware, bitch. James says it's funny seeing the "there's no point in buying a PS5, they go to PC" crowd get mad at Sony for potentially stopping PC ports. Y'all wanted a reason to get a PS5, now y'all got one. Be happy. No, that's, oh my goodness. The whole reason Sony started porting to PC is because the games are not enough of a reason to go to PS5. How are you not getting this? That's why we're annoyed at this news, because it makes no sense. We're not mad about losing access to the games, we're annoyed at the lack of logic being put on display here. PC gamers made it extremely clear that the games themselves are not enough of a motivation to go to the PlayStation. That's why we're perfectly happy waiting for them to come to PC. If there was more to the PS5 that would draw us over there, like perhaps, I don't know, pricing, performance, the ecosystem, the accessibility, things that we have on the PC right now that the PlayStation does not have in comparison. The games are not enough to get us over there. That's why they started putting the games over here instead, because they gave up on getting us over there. But now they're potentially taking the games away from us to bring us to the platform that we've already established we're not going to. That makes no sense. It's not us being mad about losing games that we may or may not have been interested in the first place. It's us being annoyed at the complete corporate lack of connection with the consumer. This makes no sense. J-Dub says, just ordered another PS5 Pro. Never know when some rabid PC dude will want to tell his PC and get his hands on a sold out PS5 Pro. J-Dub, I will buy that PS5 Pro off of you. Like, straight up. If you actually ordered another PS5 Pro, show receipts, I will buy it off of you. I don't think you did that. Show receipts, I will buy it off of you. This is where we just sit in silence for him to not do anything, because he didn't fucking do that. FF Souls Addict writes a fucking essay here. PC-only gamers have no respect for the brand, but want their games. Pause. Correct. I don't have respect for brands. I have respect for developers and the art they make. I don't give a shit about brands. That's why I play games on a platform that is not connected to a gaming brand. Because I don't give a fuck about brands, and neither should you. I care about the creation of developers and the art form of video games. I don't care about brands. Correct. You say that like it's an insult, but it's just reality. I'm better than you. Please continue. You guys cry because you have to make a PSN account. Pause. Yes, I shouldn't have to do that. We were upset about having to make a PSN account for single-player offline games. I shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that. Like, sorry it took a different platform to make it clear to the PlayStation crowd that you are doing something you shouldn't have to do. If I buy an offline single-player game, I shouldn't have to make an online account and connect the offline game to an online account. I shouldn't have to do that. I gave you money for a product. Why are you going out of your way to inconvenience me when I'm trying to give you money? Fuck yourself. I have other options. Like, again, you're just portraying this as a negative thing when it's objectively positive for the consumer. Please continue. You guys pirate their games to sabotage their earnings, which is so disrespectful. Pause. Not everyone pirates games, and we don't. It's also, the people who pirate games don't do it to sabotage. They do it because they don't want to pay. It's like there's any number of reasons why you could be pirating games, but you should be able to look at the sheer amount of money being generated on the PC and the sheer amount of revenue being generated by publishers on the PC, that obviously not all PC gamers pirate games. It's a small percentage of PC gamers that pirate games. There's just a very, very large number of total PC gamers. That's why people keep coming over here. Because even though there is a percentage of PC gamers who will pirate the games, there are so many potential customers that the pirates are a pretty insignificant number or an insignificant detriment to the amount of money that's potentially possible to make here. Please continue. It devalues the console to the real consumers that invest in the ecosystem. Pause. First of all, it does not devalue the console to sell the game in a completely different ecosystem that is disconnected from the console ecosystem. PCs and consoles are not the same ecosystem. So putting the game on PC does not devalue the console. If putting the game on the PC means that you now ditch the console for the PC, that means the console was not worth buying and the game was being held hostage, which is ultimately a good thing now that you're going to PC, because the console needs to make you actually want to spend your money there. If the console can't make you want to spend their money there outside of holding games hostage, the console shouldn't have your money in the first place, first of all. But second of all, it devalues the console to the real consumers. I don't fucking care. Is the product good? Yes or no? Is the product worth spending money on? Yes or no? Is the corporation selling the product going to fuck me about in between me giving them my money and them giving me the product? Yes or no? That is how simple this should be. Stop complicating this. Please continue. You want Sony to fail so bad, hoping the console dies so they make more games for PC. Pause. I don't want Sony to fail, and I also don't want the console to die. I want proper competition in the gaming space as a whole, which means Sony should stop holding games hostage on the console and stop using those hostaged games as an excuse to not improve their console. See how that works? If Sony's hardware completely loses its appeal because it's not holding games hostage anymore, that means the hardware is ass and you shouldn't buy it. Please continue. They only made 1% revenue, which is far less than what's made catering to their consumers. Pause. I'm not actually positive where you're getting that 1% revenue from. I think you're trying to say that like they only made 1% of their revenue on the PC versus the PlayStation, which I'm just not sure where you're getting that number from. But they're making hundreds of millions of dollars. Some reports suggest billions of dollars on the PC. So even if it is 1%, that's still a lot of money that they wouldn't have made otherwise. So, like, I'm not sure what the point is that you're making here. Please continue. Sony finally realizes who is the real consumers and will right their wrongs with PlayStation consumers. PlayStation 92 million and growing, especially when Wolverine and GTA 6 drops. Pause. Oh my goodness. All this talk about how Sony is the best brand, Sony's this great brand, but now, they're gonna grow so much when third-party game drops? Are you kidding me? All of this is being done for the PlayStation ecosystem? All this needs to be done for the sake of the PlayStation, man, the sake of the PlayStation ecosystem, but now you're shining the spotlight on a third-party multi-platform game because you don't even have confidence that Sony's going to give you first-party exclusives. You don't even have the confidence that that's going to happen. Buddy, you're literally proving my point. Please continue. They don't need PC whatsoever. The PC narrative is gone. Buy a PS5 or shut the fuck up. Okay, they don't need the PC to exist. Sure, they were existing just fine before the PC. Yeah, I'll give you that. But they started on the PC. They didn't even give it a full proper college try, and now they're tapping out. Again, PC guys aren't mad about it. We're just confused. Like, you didn't even do it properly, and now you're stopping? Like, of course you're disappointed by the numbers. You didn't do it right. You could have asked any of us how you could have done it right, but instead you're just taking your ball and going home because you're not making enough money? Like, what? Like, who is calling the shots over there? None of this makes any goddamn sense. But, keep telling yourself the PC narrative is gone. PC narrative is gone. Keep telling yourself that while everyone in the AAA industry takes a look at Capcom hitting numbers like this on a Friday morning. PC is not going anywhere. The PC is going to continue thriving thanks to companies who are halfway competent at releasing on this platform. Astros says PC Bro is going to be in the comments like, well, looks like Sony doesn't care about money. Imagine if Nintendo put their games on PC. Company would go 6 feet under so fast. People don't understand. Nintendo would go under if they put their games on PC? Look, okay, first of all, I can play basically any Nintendo game I want on the PC for free, but there is a giant demand for Nintendo games outside of Nintendo's ecosystem, outside of their hardware ecosystem. Everyone knows that. If Nintendo put their games on other platforms for sale, they would make a metric ass load of money while also continuing to sell their hardware because the Switch doesn't really have a proper console competitor right now. And also Nintendo as a brand just kind of has a stranglehold on the casual market right now. It's not an untouchable stranglehold as proven by the Wii U, and even the GameCube if you want to go back that far, but the Wii U especially. But like, are you really trying to suggest that Nintendo wouldn't make a lot of money if they put their games on a platform where there is obviously a giant market for their games, as proven by all the emulation going on? Like, you're really telling me if they didn't throw Pokemon up on Steam, or like a Zelda collection up on Steam, that it wouldn't make fucking gangbusters without even remotely impacting the sales of the Switch 2? You people are fucking retarded. Like, how is this where gaming discourse is now? Continue. Kevin Guerrero says, finally, great news. Consoles need exclusives to sell well. No software equals no reason/less reasons to buy the hardware. I love your profile picture here. It's just the PC Master Race guy with a PlayStation logo photoshopped on top of it. Because that's how incapable you people are of having good ideas of your own. Like, oh, dude, PlayStation's the best. I have all these great ideas of and all these great reasons why PlayStation is the best. And as a representation of PlayStation being the best, I'm just going to slap a logo on a different platform's mascot. Buddy, you're telling on yourself. This is so pathetic. Puerto Rock says, PC gamers, no need to buy a PS5. I can wait and play the games on PC. Sony, we're backtracking our plans on putting games on PC. PC gamers, shocked Pikachu face. Again, you're not really understanding why Sony put their games on the PC in the first place. They put their games on the PC in the first place because PC gamers are thoroughly convinced that there's no reason to buy a PS5. We didn't buy a PS5, a lot of us didn't buy PS4s for the first party games. So then Sony puts the games on the PC to make money off of the people who they weren't going to make money off of in the first place. We weren't lost sales, that's what you need to understand. PC gamers were not lost sales for Sony, we were just non-existent sales. They turned us into lost sales when we, if a game comes out on the PC and we don't buy the game. But that's like PC gamers being lost sales is better than being non-existent sales because that means we are potential sales. Sony put a bunch of effort into turning us from non-existent sales into potential/lost sales, but now are going back to turning us into non-existent sales. Like, it's not like Sony's done anything to make the PS5 hardware more appealing to PC gamers. It's not like they've done anything to actually draw us over there. So what even is this strategy? You're correct. We are the shocked Pikachu meme because this move makes no sense. When the games weren't on PC, PC gamers were completely out of the question for Sony's revenue. Then they put the games on PC. PC gamers are part of the question. Maybe we weren't buying the games as much as you wanted us to, but I mean, again, for the 10th time, any one of us could have told you how we could buy the games more, how you could make the games more appealing to us. This was a moment to work on the foundation, to work on the strategy. To just delete the strategy outright and go back to us being out of the question, it doesn't make any sense. Giants call me Astro. Wait, Giants called me. Is that a baseball reference? Was there a trade from the Giants to the Astros, or a free agent pickup that I wasn't paying attention to? Like, sorry, I don't pay attention to teams that are just fucking cheaters. Giants are not cheaters anymore. They did willingly keep signing Barry Bonds year after year, but that was also like 20 years ago. Giants are a perfectly legitimate team now. They just suck ass. The Astros, I'm one of the many people who believes the Astros are still cheating. I just can't prove it. Not that it does them much good. Get swept, idiot. No playoffs. If PC dudes actually supported these games in droves instead of pirating and picking at PlayStation fans on social media about how PlayStation has no games and you don't need a PlayStation no more, this wouldn't be happening. Well, I mean, first of all, we don't know it's happening, but again, even if it is happening, it's not happening because of pirates or because of social media pics. It's happening because PlayStation is fucking incompetent. You can't half-step a sales strategy like this. You can't half-step a multi-platform strategy like this. You have to full send. You have competition on the PC market. People don't have to buy your game over here. You have to give them a reason to buy the game over here. If you're not willing to give them a reason to buy the game over here, or buy the game at the price you're selling it, or at the time you're selling it, then you need to make adjustments. It's not the PC's fault that you didn't sell as many copies as you wanted to, right? Am I crazy? Maybe. No playoffs? One more. Carl G says, this news has blown up on Twitter X today. I guess it wasn't just me who wanted the PS to PC ports to stop. I hope it's true. Day says Sony literally gains nothing from taking away PC ports. Magnum Gaming says they gain brand stability. Brand stability? By selling less copies of their games? I need that one explained. I really don't know if the PC port news is real or not. I genuinely couldn't give a shit less if it is or not, because I just don't give a shit about Sony games in general. Like, the kind of stuff that they make just is not for me, so I could give a shit less from a personal standpoint. But from a big picture standpoint, I think it's a good idea to be doing things multi-platform. I don't see a reason why they shouldn't be trying to make more money and getting more games accessible to more people. I don't understand why that's a bad thing. I do think the way that they've been doing things has been wrong. Like, it's just not optimal. It's more pro-consumer than the alternative, but that doesn't mean it's business-wise optimal. But this should have been an opportunity to make it optimal, not to just take your ball and go home. That's what confuses me the most. Sony saw, XYZ reason to start putting their games on PC in the first place. XYZ reason haven't changed. It's not like XYZ reason have gone away, but now they're just deleting the whole strategy. This is why I want more news. This is why I want more confirmation one way or the other. It just doesn't make a lot of sense given the current state of things and given what Sony has been doing over the last 6-7 months with hiring new positions for PC strategizing. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. If it happens, fine. We'll talk about it then. If it doesn't happen, fine. I'll continue to not buy Sony games either way because they're just not for me. But you know what is for me? Backyard Baseball 2003, which is still not on Steam, by the way. They announced a new Backyard Baseball game, which I think could be fun, especially if it's a proper continuation, they're signing pro players to be in there. If it's a proper revival of Backyard Baseball, this could actually be fucking awesome. But if it's just the original Backyard Baseball where there's no pros and it's just the made up characters and it's basically just original Backyard Baseball but with 3D graphics, I'm less excited. But I mean, over the last year or so, my love for baseball has been properly reignited. So I want this to be a real revival of the Backyard Baseball franchise. I want to see little fucking tiny Shohei Ohtani or fucking tiny Cal Raleigh or fucking tiny Kyle Schwarber. I want this moment recreated, but in somebody's backyard. This moment where Kyle Schwarber hit one to the fucking stratosphere at Petco Park. I want to see this, but in Backyard Baseball. Whether or not I get that, I guess we'll find out in a few months when the game comes out. I don't actually know. Okay, can you tell that I'm just not the target audience for PlayStation games? Have you figured out why I'm just not the target audience? I don't give a fuck about all these movie games, dude. I just don't care. Give me gameplay. Give me gameplay. I don't care. Okay, Doofus Club time. Elite, the Gamer 127YT, Chris Void, Jake Spider Monkey 1994, hashtag Hillbilly Vanilla, Floppy Pingus 97, Hyperactive Turtle, Cards, Game with Dead People, Nate, Grimsy, Official Dregs, Google the Harpeggi, it's an amazing instrument, Blast 1314, Mayo Satsune, Biscuit 1101, West of Rex, Hentai. I assume the CDs are only sold in the US. This is an ongoing conversation between me and him. He's talking about my band Curbside Anthem. Everything that we release is digital, but we're doing a physical pressings soon. But I actually don't know if the service we're using does international. So stay tuned. I guess if you want physical media, fuck my asshole. I own 6 click flicks of Blu-ray discs. Delta 169, Baron von Vaterham, Unicorn Rocco, Suck on This Nuts, Joe AI, Slav that makes me Microsoft, Kushka, Doug, Nixie Smile, good to making the boys, I am Ztendo, the Neg Man. Do you have the master plan, me boy? Max Kill of Gaming is a hard nug life, nice dude, one man savage, no payoff, effect, Dervig, Dena, Audrey, Mechanical Resonance, Sick Nick, Mad Fox 94, Exchange Induction, Stick Rider, Broken Crown, Pop Row for the back, and took my Epic Tim, Wiped my Sweeney, Vast, Dennis, Muskie, Club to Bang, the JoJo 6, Molthing, Really Sword, Oracle, Jimmy Chops, Master Killer, Tom Schnorlax, and Unknown 186718. They said Highguard doesn't need that many players at Shadowbear 1789. Bender Fondue, T-Trang, Rise Nornon, Voila, High, Partial Main 8, Volks Auto, Snake Eyes 327, MK2396E, X Mogan Gamer, Fire has 15, Tech Gaming Slim, Jim Lord, Bowser the Second, Joe, Laughs and Dust in the Moat, Gay Local Dot, his MP's Gamer, Jessica Shepard, Riki Spiral, Riki Dick Dabby, Xylophone Phone Doofus Mertz Academy, Crewman the Sail Angel, High Guard, Low Guard, Yeet the Devs Out, Guard, Cyrus 6771, 2 Texan 940, you were right, it was E, wow, you're so smart, Joe, Creed Warrior, 23 Max Chap. Totally insane. I gave myself a little neck cramp when I did that. Ow. Release the Doofus Files. Joe, Gnight Cypher, ML04, Wolf of Midnight, EKW, Steve Win Studios, Film McCracken, Gaming, Tariq Brown, Thornskane, Maganex, Severin Evans, Mr. Spawning 03, is the Catalina, freaking Wildmixer, Pow Pow, Donnie Weston, Gob Gonson, Rogue Winter 919, Zach Thane, Hangman for Hire, Ellen Noble, Fresh Crystal, Biogenesis, Manga Geese, Go Ghost, Ho, Ryusagi, Raptor to him, Ominous F94, Blue Hook, When in Doubt, Face the Wind, Wank It Out, Mr. Techno Squeak, Jody Peters, Smiggy, Wicked Jensen, Make Advertisement, Digga Garcia, Kibikins, I American Idiot, Harmon Smith, Other Chin, Ono, Sarson, Rand, Rui Tooney, Wayne, Extended Wolf 7, Restro, Westa, JMM, SG, Veg, Groove Now, Kurt Knowledge, Spike, Salhath, and you have Joe Idea How Hard It Is Being Me, Joe from Seattle, Joe 2020 jokes, 2026, Joe 2026. Okay, toodles.